Chickies! So today I am back with another Chickee Chit Chat for you all. So if you're new to my channel, then hello, my name is Christina, and if you don't know what Chickee Chit Chat is, it is basically an advice series in a way. It's basically like girl talk, you know, like we've talked about panties, we talked about bras, we talked about periods, I talked about shaving, and I also talked about relationships, and now today we are going to be talking about the topic of breakups. What a sad topic. You know, a lot of you chickies requested this topic, and I am very happy to bring it to you all today because I feel like I could speak very truthfully for it and stuff like that, because I recently went through a very bad breakup on my end. Like, this kid that I dated was my first like true love and everything like that. So basically, yeah, me and this kid, we broke up in November of 2015, and then all of November, December, January, and February, it was me getting over him and going through the stages of a breakup, which I have for you all today. That is the basis of this video that I will talk about. So yeah. But yeah, now we are in March of 2016, and I could happily say that I am over the relationship. I am over him and stuff like that, and I am very happy about it because honestly, November, December, January, February, those were like terrible months for me. Like, this breakup was like so bad. It sucked, let me tell you. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and stay subscribed to my channel. And if you're not already following me on my social media at BeautyChickee on Twitter and Instagram, then make sure to go and do that. By the way, I upload Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. and if you guys are new here, you should subscribe because twice a week videos are awesome. And if you like this series, then subscribe because I'm gonna start doing a lot of them. But yeah, I wanna hop right into the basis of this video. So I have like a quick mini story time type of thing, and then the steps of the breakup. So let's get started. All right, so let's start off with the mini itty bitty story time type of portion of it. Basically, it's not really like story time, it's just I want to give you guys some background into my first love and me and my first love's breakup and some of that, so you guys understand where I kind of nitpicked and pulled these steps from, and you guys could understand where I'm speaking from. I feel like this video might get a lot of hate because a lot of people are going to be like, oh my gosh, you're only 16 years old, you need to stop being dramatic, you need to stop saying that he was your first love, because he's not, because you're so young and stuff like that. And I just want to say to anybody that's gonna hate on me for this video, honestly, you might as well click out now. It's really, I don't think it's a big deal that I am talking about this. I mean, I feel that you could have your first love at absolutely any age. You could have it young, you could have it at freaking 12 if you wanted to, or you could have it at 20. Really, having your first love and falling in love has no age limits. So, yeah. For me though, I happened to have my first love when I turned 16. Literally, I met him like 2 weeks after I turned 16. So yeah. Before we start though, I want to make a little disclaimer, and I want you guys to understand something, because a lot of you guys probably saw my Timeline of Ex-Boyfriends video, and you're probably like, Christina, like, how is this kid your first love? Meanwhile, you had all these other boyfriends. Like, did you not love them? And that, my friends, I want to clear up some things about that. Yes, I had other boyfriends. Yes, I felt like I was definitely in love with some of them, but you can never really compare those boyfriends to your first love. Like, you could have a bunch of different boyfriends and then completely fall head over heels for somebody, and that person could be your first, you know, true love, and you could just definitely, you know, tell the difference. For me, I was able to tell, like, this kid was definitely my first true love once we broke up, because I've never went through a more torturous breakup in my life. So basically, I'm not gonna say much about the relationship or anything like that. You know, we started dating over the summer, and then November comes and we break up, and that's when hell started to settle in for me. We broke up, and the breakup was so like unexpected for me. So I feel like that was a big reason as to why it was so bad. So basically, there are so many different reasons that you and a person could break up, but honestly, I'm not even gonna bother to explain the reason why we broke up, because we didn't have like one big reason why we broke up. It was just like so many little things, you know, like me nagging, him nagging, and then just like all this like stuff that kind of just added together into, okay, this has got to go. So then, you know, we broke up. So basically, that breakup happened the end of November, so hell basically began for me the beginning of December. It was just absolutely torturous. Literally December and January and the majority of February were so bad for me. Like, literally, especially in December, I would cry my eyes out to bed every single night. I cried on New Year's, I cried on Christmas, I cried on Christmas Eve. If I went out with my friends, I would get upset, I'd start to tear up in the back of their cars, and it was like, it was just so bad for me. Like, I could not control my emotions as much as I wanted to. Literally, I don't even know how to explain it. So I'm just gonna like sum it up for you guys and say that it was the worst couple months of my life. Like, literally just like constant crying, constant everything. It was just so bad. I can't even explain it to you all. So basically, December goes by, and then January goes by, and February goes by, and I'm a miserable wreck. And then March comes, and currently it is March 24th, and this video is going up on the 25th. And basically, at the beginning of March, I was like, you know, starting to get over the person, and, you know, it was just like, you know, things just started to like come to like a conclusion for me, to kind of like at the end of February to into March, where like things were like, okay, Christina, here we go, this is what you need to do, this is what's going on, you know, you need to just like realize some shit. And I did, and then I am completely fine now. So yeah, it's weird how things could go from like one way to another so quickly, because like literally if you would have compared me December to now, you would think I'm not the same person. So basically, like I said, here I am in March now, you know, I'm doing my own thing, I'm vibing, I'm chilling, I can't wait for Playlist Live next month, holla. But besides that though, let's not talk about my life anymore. I'm gonna talk to you guys about the stages of a breakup, which is basically like the main part of this video. This is the advice video. This is what you guys are going to go through if you meet your first love and, you know, you break up and stuff like that. This is probably what you're going to be going through. Just an FYI though, everybody is going to be different, you know, how they handle breakups and stuff like that. Some people are going to be screaming and crying tear. Some people are going to be like, yeah, whatever. But honestly, these are the steps that I went through, and I think they're pretty relatable to everybody, that, you know, they had a very bad breakup, you know, where they were in love with a person and then it just ended and stuff like that. So before that even happens to you guys, if it already happened to you, then I'm sure this video could be relatable, and maybe you could save yourself some time for the next guy or girl. And then, you know, if you didn't happen to fall in love yet, then I want you guys to listen and take notes and stuff. So yeah, before I start these steps though, I want to mention something to you guys that I thought was like a little funny and like, you know, odd in a sense. So basically I was like planning to film this video and stuff like that, like, all right, I'm gonna do a video about breakups. And then my manager ended up emailing me, and she's like, hey, this girl wrote to you and let me know your ideas and stuff like that. And so I read this girl's email to me, and her name is Cassidy. This girl Cassidy is a fan of mine, and she's also a blogger, and it just so happened that she saw one of my Storytime videos about my cheating ex-boyfriend, and she was basically very inspired, and she went through a breakup recently, and she basically made like this entire article on her blog, and it was all about, you know, like breakups and stuff. The article that she wrote is called 5 Ways on How to Keep Your Head Up, and she emailed it to me, and I read the entire article, and I was like, wow, this girl is extremely relatable to me right now, because basically she wrote like this article, and it's, as the article says, 5 ways to keep your head up, and it's basically like, you know, little pointers and tips on, you know, like getting over a breakup, and it's basically something extremely similar to what I am talking about in this video. So I figured I'd mention it to you all, since she is a loyal chickie of mine. You know, you guys should definitely go check it out. So I'm gonna put the link to her article below. But yeah, I wanna hop into these steps, so let's get started. All right, so I have these written out on my phone, so I'm kind of just gonna like go through my phone and read them to you guys, and then like explain them a little more. All right, so basically the first step is obviously the breakup. And the breakup, you know, you go through a breakup, you and the person break up, you're probably very upset if you're watching this because you're trying to deal with this breakup, or maybe you're not upset about it, you just want to watch it because you're a subscriber of mine, and I appreciate that. Or you're watching this because you don't want to get played when you go into a relationship. You know, whatever your case is, I hope you get something out of this. So basically the second step is denial, and this doesn't mean that you're basically saying like, oh my god, we're not over and stuff like that. It's not like you're denying the fact that you broke up. It's more like you're denying the fact that it all happened so quickly. It's more of like a mental thing that's going on. Like, I remember, obviously, from my point of view when I went through it, it was basically me, and I was just thinking in my head like, how did this happen so quickly? Like, I can't believe that it happened and stuff. I knew that we were broken up. I was telling people that we were broken up and everything like that, but it was kind of just like, you know, it was like a total just like surprise surprise to me, just like a smack in the face basically. Step number 3 is the mourning stage, which is basically, you know, crying and crying and crying. You know, you pull up pictures of them and you start crying over the pictures. You listen to old voicemails, you're watching old videos, you know, just it's the bad stage, and it's probably the stage that you might be in for the longest. Mine literally lasted December and January. That's 2 full months, and I mean, for you it might be shorter, from you it might be longer. It doesn't really matter. A lot of people are gonna tell you like, oh, don't cry over them, it's not worth it and stuff, but it's more of a thing that you can't control, and it kind of just like happens. Like, as much as people are like, oh, he's not worth your time, don't cry over it, and like all that stuff, it's like something that I couldn't help. Like, the tears would just start rolling out of nowhere. My number 1 tip that I could give you guys with this mourning stage is to cry. Like, literally, I don't care. Cry as much as you need to. That's like the number 1 thing. And it's only going to help you, because honestly, keeping all your emotions inside and stuff like that is not healthy for you. So you need to cry it out. Okay, so the 4th stage I called the badass stage. And I don't know if a lot of you guys will go through this, but I put it down because it is something that I went through that I thought was kind of weird. But basically, this badass stage is the phase where you take all of your sadness and you like basically put it into anger instead. But during that stage, I did sneak out a lot. You know, it was just like something I liked to do, and a lot of people during this stage are probably thinking like, oh my gosh, you know, when you think of this stuff, you're like, oh my god, drugs and drinking. Did you do that, Christina? The answer is no. I've said this plenty of times on my channel that I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, and I never have, and I don't plan on it. So yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like my definition of like the badass stage and stuff like that. That's kind of what I went through, where I was just like, you know what, I want to sneak out, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do, like, I just wanted to do things. Basically, the badass in this is just basically wanting to do things out of your comfort zone. That's basically what this stage is. So the 5th step is going out. Basically, what this going out stage means is where basically to conceal, you know, your upsetness and your anger and stuff like that, you basically convert it once again into just wanting to get out there and do things. Like, you know, with me, I just wanted to go out with my friends 24/7. Like, every single weekend I was doing something. Like, I was booked every single weekend. I remember, like, literally, like, second I get out of school on Friday, friends pick me up and wouldn't be home till super late in the morning. Wake up early on Saturday, leave the house, go do something. Like, literally, it's just like that stage where you just, all you want to do is be with your friends. You just want to chill with your friends. You just want to go out and do fun things with them, just so, you know, you're not thinking of like the upsetness and, you know, your ex and stuff like that, just so it's like not in your mind. You know, you just want to go and do things that are just going to get them off of your mind. So the 6th step is basically a fallback step. And basically it's like, you know, you're in this stage now where you're going out with your friends, you're having a great time, you're starting to get happy. But then, you know, it's just one little thing that like could pull you back. Like, you could be out with your friends and stuff like that, having a great time, and then you scroll on Instagram and then you see a picture of like, you know, the person that you fell in love with and like a new person or whatever, even if it's just with your friends or family, and just like brings you to tears. That is what the fallback stage is. Or like, maybe you're like spring cleaning and then you end up finding like an old shirt of theirs or something like that, and you know, you just kind of like sit there and stare at it. That is a fallback stage, and I am telling you right now, it's going to happen sometime, but I just need you guys to be strong for me. And the tip I could give you guys is, I know that that one memory, maybe it's a lingering freaking photo of you guys in your phone. The number 1 thing I could tell you guys is, as much as it hurts, get rid of it. Delete it out of your phone. Throw out that old shirt. You have a Polaroid picture, throw it out, burn it if it makes you feel better. But literally, that's my number 1 tip, you know, throw out that lingering memory. If it helps, unfollow them on social media. Delete those pictures from your phone. Honestly, seeing them is only gonna hold you back, and you need to get rid of them because you don't wanna be held back. So now the 7th step is doing things on your own. You know, when you first met, you go through this honeymoon stage and stuff like that, and it's all fun and games, and you know, everything's great, you guys are happy and everything, but then things start to fall down and then you break up. So basically, this is where you're realizing like, oh my god, I was crying over the memories of that old person where like, you know, the honeymoon phase basically. Because let's be real, you're not thinking of the memory like a week before you guys broke up. You're thinking of the memory of when you guys first started dating. That's how majority of people's minds are. You know, so you just need to realize like, oh, like all those memories were like when we were doing fine. But guess what? Time goes by, you change, you're not doing fine. And you need to realize that the majority of that crying was over this person that you don't want to be with anymore, that you shouldn't be with anymore. You know, the stage, going out, doing things on your own, it's where you realize that, you know, like, you're missing out on so much. Like, you spent all this time crying over this person when, you know, you could have read an amazing book, you could have filmed a YouTube video, you could have started a YouTube career. But anyways, you guys get the point. It's like you spent these 2 months, for me, you know, I spent these 2 months crying over this guy, and it's like, with those 2 months, I could have spent it doing something else, you know? Could have spent it making 10 times more YouTube videos. I could have spent it going to a YouTube event, going into the city every weekend. But no, I was home and I was crying, so, you know, it was a waste of your time. And honestly, I would be a little mad at myself. Like, wow, I cried that much and I wasted my own precious time. And now you want to go and do things. Do things on your own. Do things without that guy or that girl, because you don't need them to do things like that. You could be single your entire life and be perfectly fine. You do not need another person to do all these things with. Now the 8th stage is basically the comfortable stage, and it's basically where you're like able to like go out with your friends without thinking about this person. It's basically where you could just like go out with your friends and you could be perfectly fine basically. It's like, you know, you could go out and not worry about, you know, that lingering memory. You could go out with your friends, walk past a coffee shop that you and your love went to, and you know, you won't get upset by it. You know, so you're very comfortable now and confident basically that you could maybe talk about the breakup, talk about the relationship without getting upset, you know, past old memories, look at old memories that are like, you know, you would have cried over when you were going through the morning stage, but you could do it now and be fine. So basically steps 9 and 10, I'm gonna combine into one, because it's like, you know, you were in that comfortable stage and now you're kind of just growing out into 9 and 10. And 9 is basically where you're able to like go out and like, you know, not think about your ex, and you could talk to other guys and be happy about it, you know, not compare them to your ex. Or talk to girls, whatever you prefer, sorry, and think about guys, because that's who I dated. And then stage 10 is like, you know, you're single and maybe single gets tiring, you want to build another relationship, or you want to stay single and you want to be a flirt. 9 and 10 is just basically like the more comfortable stage. Like you could go out, talk to a girl or a guy, and you won't have to think about your ex, and it's just like a wonderful thing, because like literally it's like, guess what? You did it. You did it. You're over the person. Congratulations, video over, goodbye. Nah, I'm only kidding. I gotta wrap up this video with a nice little conclusion first, and then we'll be over with it. But yeah, that's really it. Those are your 10 stages of getting over a breakup. And you know, if you guys have any other breakup questions, comments, you know, if you want to give advice to me or anybody else in the comments, then let me know below. And basically the conclusion of this video, I guess, is that everything's gonna be okay. You know, you listen to these stages and, you know, it might be like this deep pit that you're in. Maybe you're mourning, maybe you're in the mourning stage for literally a year. But listen, you go through it, you're gonna get out of it. Everything is going to be okay. But that is it for this video, chickies. I hope you enjoyed, and we are going to move to the end card now. So let's go and do that. I hope you chickies enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and stay subscribed to my channel. And if you're not following me on my social media at BeautyChickee on Twitter and Instagram, then make sure to go and do that. If you want to check out my latest video, it will be linked right below me. And right next to that is my merchandise, so you know if you guys are interested in buying BeautyChickee hats, shirts, pants, anything like that, then make sure to click the annotation on the screen and it will bring you there. Or you can click the link below. You know, everything on the screen is clickable and it's always in the link below. Not in the link below, it's in links below. It's in the down bar below is what I meant to say. But I'm going to go because I really need to pee and I really want to go eat. But like I said, everything is going to be okay, chickies. So just stick in there and trust me, if you ever need any advice on getting over a breakup, you know, you have any more comments and questions about this video, like I said, comment them below, or you could always tweet me or DM me or whatever you want. So yeah. So with that being said, ciao, ciao, chickies.